There is a voice in your head that is preventing you from achieving the potential that you can achieve in this lifetime, that is stopping you from going for the goal you want to go for, that is putting fear in your mind and making you so afraid of achieving the things that you dream about, the things that you can't stop thinking about day in, day out, the things that are actually in your mind every night when you go to sleep and in your mind every time when you wake up. And it's not from whoever you term your haters, it's not from the people around you, it's not from that auntie that hates you, it's not from that your ex that seems to never want anything good for you, it's not from your mom, it's not from your dad, it's not from your enemies. In fact, it is from you. It is from deep in your mind, deep in your heart. It is from how you perceive yourself and how you see yourself. And you don't even know when you are doing it most of the time. You just do it. You do it. You just talk negatively to yourself. Even when nobody is talking about you, you're talking to you that way. You see yourself that way and you treat yourself that way. You think about yourself that way, and it begins to manifest in your life in a visual form, which is not what you want for yourself or what anybody should want for yourself. You see your fear start coming to life and you start becoming exactly what you are afraid of, because you keep thinking about it and keep saying it to yourself. Negative self-talk is literally the silent killer of dreams and of desires and of goals, because every time you do something and then you tell yourself that, oh, I couldn't have done it anyways, oh, I'm sure I didn't do it so well, then you end up manifesting that. You end up not doing that thing so well. And if you don't unlearn it, you will sabotage every good thing in your life. Because every time somebody says, oh, you're so good at this, why don't you give this a try? And say, oh no, I'm not that good at doing stuff like this. Oh no, I'm not that great at doing things like this. You find out that you start manifesting that particular negative thing you say to yourself every time, and you actually start being very horrible at the things that you keep saying you're horrible at, even if you were actually good at them. And then you see yourself actually declining. You see yourself being stuck in wherever you are for years or for months, just because you don't believe in yourself. You don't believe that you have the potential to do something great or to be someone great. And that's actually what is holding you back in every aspect of your life. Hi, my name is Blossom, and I'm here to make sure that you never settle for a life that's less than the one you deserve. So like I already introduced, we're going to be talking about negative self-talk today. And negative self-talk actually disguises itself as truth. So you say things like, I know myself, I'm not good at this thing. I know myself, I don't do well at stuff like this. I know myself, I'm not that good in this. I'm just being self-aware, or I'm just being humble. I'm just being this, I'm just being that. And then you keep talking down on yourself, saying that, oh, I'm just not good at stuff like this. Oh, I can never succeed at things like this, so I never do them. And then you keep patterning yourself. You keep making yourself become this certain way, because you keep programming yourself into this particular thing, this self-concept, or this belief of yourself. And it is actually the most dangerous form of self-abuse, because it is abuse if you keep seeing yourself a certain way. You don't let yourself thrive. You don't let yourself go for the potential that you could actually achieve, because you keep limiting yourself before you even get a chance to try. So we're talking about negative self-talk. We're talking about how it holds you back, why you do it, and how to shut that voice up before it actually ruins everything that you are working for, or everything that you could have achieved. And then you never get to achieve them simply because you don't believe in yourself, and you keep talking down on yourself before you even get a chance to try, before you even get a chance to thrive. Okay, so let's go to chapter 1, which I titled The Poison You Didn't Know You Were Drinking. And that's what came to my mind when I thought, okay, what do I actually term something like negative self-talk? And I found this so realistic, because a lot of people do not know that they practice negative self-talk. This is so normal for them. They talk about themselves this way every time, anywhere, every day, and they don't even realize that this is how they talk to themselves. They don't realize that this is what is actually limiting them. So they keep blaming it on other forces, or blaming it on this or that, but they don't realize that they've limited themselves before they even gave themselves a chance to try. So whatever you think that you feel about what I've been saying so far, negative self-talk, is actually not enough, because I'm going to point it out to you exactly where negative self-talk comes into your life in various areas. Because this is not just about low self-esteem or the occasional off day, like maybe you're having a bad day and you're like, oh my god, I'm so stupid, why did I do this, why did I do that? I'm talking about something that you actually do regularly without knowing. It's so programmed into you, you don't even realize that it's wrong. You don't even realize that what you are doing is wrong. You don't realize when you are doing it. Negative self-talk is like carbon monoxide, which is one of the most dangerous poisons. Why? Because it is colorless and it is odorless, and you will not know that you are actually ingesting carbon monoxide for a long time until it's actually very toxic, in such a way that you might have passed out, and if help doesn't come in a short time, it could actually lead to death, and the person could actually, even if the person doesn't die, there could be damage to organs in a way that is irreparable or irreversible. That's exactly how negative self-talk is in your life. So in psychology, they call it cognitive distortion. So it is a twisted mental loop where you tell yourself, or you internalize lies and tell yourself that they are truths, but what it really is self-sabotage. It's self-sabotage. And negative self-talk doesn't come out loud. It's not loud. It's not something that is so obvious and everybody sees it. Some people might even think you are the most confident person out there, but you actually talk to yourself in the worst ways known to man, in your mind every single day. It is things like, oh, I'm so stupid, oh, why did I do that, oh, I'm such an idiot, oh, I always mess things up, I'm just that way, of course they would never pick me, who am I, this is just who I am. And then you laugh it up, it's a joke, but it's actually not a joke. And then you say things like, people like me don't win, people who come from places I come from, oh, people who have abilities like this don't win, oh, people who lack abilities like this don't win. What do I even have to offer? When you enter into spaces, you're already questioning yourself before you even get a chance to put yourself out there. You're already saying, okay, what can I even offer people? You say it jokingly, you say it as a joke in front of your friends, you laugh about it, people laugh with you. Of course, it's not the job of other people to recognize this in you, but you need to sit down and actually do that introspection for yourself and actually think about it, like, why am I actually always joking about this? Why am I always making jokes about bad things about myself? Why am I always making jokes about things that are not actually nice about myself? You say it casually and your brain is listening every time you say things like this. Your brain is actually internalizing it and actually taking it as your reality, taking it as who you are. So you say things like, oh, I'm not the kind of person that does well at things like this, and now you find yourself that way. Oh, I'm never good at maths anyway, I'm never good at English anyways, I always fail at it. And then you keep failing and you keep wondering why. Of course you always fail, because you have programmed yourself to believe that you're a failure in this particular area. Now let's go to chapter 2, which is the root of it all. Why do we talk to ourselves like this? Things don't just happen. There are always reasons why we do certain things. So let's talk about it. Let's actually be very real. You wouldn't talk to yourself, to your best friend like that. You would never talk to them that way. So why do you talk to yourself like that? Let's actually break it down. If you wouldn't talk to your loved one this way, you wouldn't talk to your mom, to your dad, to your siblings this way, people that you actually love, you tell them they are capable, you tell them they are smart, you tell them that they can achieve anything they want to do, but you talk to yourself in the opposite way. Why is that? So the first thing is lack of self-love. You don't feel worthy, so you belittle yourself to soften the blow. And in fact, sometimes you may not even realize that you don't have self-worth. You think that, oh, I'm so confident and I'm so strong, but you actually lack a lot of self-worth, and it shows up in areas like this, and the things you whisper to yourself, when you do things, or in the way you talk yourself out of doing big things that you are capable of, but you don't even allow yourself to be capable of. The next thing is lack of self-respect. You let your inner bully run free because boundaries don't exist within you. You have no boundaries within you. You don't respect yourself. So you talk down on yourself. You talk about yourself negatively. Because if you respect yourself, why would you talk about yourself negatively? You wouldn't, right? So you lack self-respect, and that's usually tied to lack of self-worth. The next thing is that you lack self-esteem. You have internalized that you are not enough. You've told yourself that you are not enough, period. No matter what, you are simply not enough, and that's what you believe deep down inside you. And there's no changing it for you right now. Of course there is a change, but I'm just saying that for you in your mind, there's no changing. The next thing is trauma and conditioning. So childhood comments that you grew up with, like, oh, you never amount to anything, oh, you never become a better person, and then those evolve into your internal voice, into the voice you hear in the back of your mind every time you walk through life, because you were told that you're such an idiot, oh, you're just never good at this, oh, you're never good at that. You've internalized it and it has become who you are. Next thing is fear of failure, which is masked as humility. So you disqualify yourself before life even tries you. I've said it before. A lot of people are just afraid to fail. So they say, oh, I'm never good at that anyway, so that they never try. They're just so afraid. They don't even want to be seen failing. And any shame or any fear of failure can never allow you to move forward. You will always be stagnant and you'll always be stuck where you are if you're afraid to fail. So it's not like a mindset issue, it's more of an identity issue, because you don't need a new routine, you need a new relationship with yourself. You need to change how you see yourself, how you think about yourself, how you love yourself, how you respect yourself, and how you feel about yourself before you can actually combat negative self-talk. So now let's go to chapter 3, which is the science of why negative self-talk is so damaging. Because I like to talk about things with science-backed facts, because I believe there's always a reason, whether science and psychological, behind every human behavior. So let's actually talk about this with some real research that I did on the internet. So according to a researcher who is a leading expert on self-compassion, she said that negative self-talk increases your cortisol levels, which are your stress hormones, and that reduces your motivation over time. It rewires your brain to expect failure. So self-criticism, especially when it is chronic, when it is really, really chronic, has been linked to depression, anxiety, and perfectionism. So usually people who criticize themselves so much, who talk so much, who are always talking down on themselves, who are always talking negatively about themselves, are usually perfectionists. They usually have a lot of anxiety. They are usually depressed. This usually comes with a lot of psychological baggage and a lot of psychological issues hand in hand. And there are reasons why, because it is not good for your mental health. So psychologically, it creates a loop which is called a self-fulfilling prophecy. So what you believe, you become, which is something I've spoken about. You keep saying these things to yourself over and over, and your brain is beginning to see it as reality. You're beginning to manifest this into your life, and you don't know that what you say is what you embody, is what you literally become, which is why what you say to yourself in your mind really, really matters. How you talk to yourself really, really matters, and negative self-talk is really the foundation for a lot of problems and a lot of unachieved dreams and potential in people's lives. And women in particular, we've been socialized into self-doubt. We're always over apologizing, we're always downplaying our skills, we're always second guessing every move. And this is not accidental. We were programmed this way, and that is why I'm particularly passionate about this, because we need to release ourselves from this particular societal conditioning, this particular patriarchal conditioning. We need to realize that we are more than what we've been told we are. We are full human beings, and we are capable of whatever we set our minds to. We are much more than the box that society tries to place us into. We are actually full complex human beings who are capable of everything we set our minds upon, of every dreams we have, of everything we hope to actually achieve. Now let's go to chapter 4, which is how it shows up in your everyday life. Let me actually point out how negative self-talk shows up in your everyday life, so you can recognize it and you can know exactly how to combat it, how to stop doing it, and just how to be better for yourself. So some of you are so used to talking down on yourself that you think it's just your personality. Because you've been doing this for years, it's been so programmed into you, you actually think it's just personality. So now let me actually ask you these questions. This is how you will know if you're a victim of negative self-talk, or if you partake in negative self-talk. The first thing, do you dismiss compliments? When people compliment you, you're like, oh, your hair is nice, oh, you look so good, oh, you walk so nice, oh, I just like your teeth, oh, I love your hair, oh, I love your face? Do you say, oh, no, that's not me? Oh no, it's not me. Oh, I don't think I'm that beautiful. Are you sure? Like, you start dismissing compliments and you say, oh, I'm not that beautiful. Do you call yourself names as jokes? Do you say, oh, I'm such an idiot? Oh, I'm such a fool? Oh,
as jokes often and regularly, not that once in a while bad day, like regularly. Do you call yourself names as joke? Do you second guess your wins? When you do well at something, do you say, oh, well, I wouldn't have won if not because, oh, I don't think I deserved it, oh, it just happened to me because, oh, it's not like I really worked hard for it, it's just. Do you assume you will fail before you even start? Like every time before you start, you already assume that, oh, I'm actually going to fail. I'm not that good at stuff, so I'm just going to fail. You start telling people like, oh, I think I'm going to fail. You're not being realistic if you do any of this. You are being abusive to yourself. And yes, I'm using the word abusive because this is self-abuse. Why would you treat yourself this way when you wouldn't treat people around you this way? Let me be blunt. Negative self-talk is not humility. You are not being humble when you talk down on yourself. You are not keeping it real. It is self-harm. It is mental self-harm when you do this to yourself, and it is not right, it is not nice, and it is actually horrible, and it is a terrible thing to engage in. It is something you need to heal from and move on as soon as possible.
Okay, so now let's go to chapter 5, which is how to actually combat it step by step. How do you combat negative self-talk step by step? Because I'm not just going to tell you what negative self-talk is, I'll actually tell you how to go about combating it step by step. This is not just a wake up and love yourself fairy tale. This is war. It is a slow, deliberate, bloody war. And this is how you're actually going to fight back. The first thing you need to do is recognize it. Catch yourself in the act. You can't fix what you can't name. Actually, be very conscious about listening to what you say to yourself, unconsciously, what you say in your mind unconsciously. Make sure you do that this week. See how you talk to yourself. The next thing is to call it out. When you hear the voice that is saying, oh, I'm not good enough, you reply and say, that's not true, I'm just scared. Because truth will dismantle the shame that you are feeling. So every time you feel like you're saying bad things to yourself, immediately reply with a real truth, a real honest truth about yourself, which is not rooted in fear and shame. The third thing is to reframe it instantly. Change I'm so dumb to I made a mistake and that is okay. You are not dumb. The moment you hear yourself saying that to yourself, immediately reframe it. Even if it feels fake at first, just do it. Just make sure you try to reframe it immediately. The next thing is mirror affirmations. Every morning and night, say what you wish you believe in front of the mirror. I loved mirror affirmations because they really, really helped me when I was battling self-esteem issues. I would look in the mirror and say things I don't believe about myself to myself in the mirror. Oh, I am smart. Oh, I am beautiful, till I believed it. The next thing is to be patient with your brain. So you've believed these lies for so long. It's not going to be easy to rewire, but that doesn't mean that it's not working. It might take some time, it might take you 6 months, it might take you a year, but it is working. So you need to be very patient with your brain and actually take the time. The next step is to do the deep work. Sometimes it's not just affirmations. Affirmation is great. Most other times it is actually trauma. So you need to journal, you need to read, you need to get therapy if you need to be heard. And sometimes it actually needs you to take the extra further step in order for you to be better, and it's always worth it because you're going to be happy you took that step. These are the things that are part of self-care. So the next thing you need to do is to flood your mind with better voices, and I mean flood. Read books, watch videos like these, listen to voices that speak life, not death. Watch podcasts, watch nice videos on people who actually say good things that actually make you feel better about yourself. Feed your mind with what you actually want to become. Don't just let anything into your mind. Let's go to the next chapter, which is chapter 6, which is how do I apply this to becoming the highest and the best version of myself. So we've said everything about negative self-talk. So how exactly do we apply it step by step into being a better person? If you are serious about becoming the woman you dream of, the girl with confidence and with power, you have to stop being your biggest hater. It is not optional. You literally have to stop being your biggest hater, and these are the steps to stop being your biggest hater. Step 1 is to audit your inner voice. So for one day, just choose a day, write down every negative thing you say to yourself that you normally say to yourself without thinking. You'll be absolutely shocked when you write down this list. Write down every single negative thing you say to yourself. The next thing is to create a power replacement list. So for every insult, create a truth-based affirmation, post it on your mirror or write it in your phone or in your journal and actually read it to yourself regularly. The third step is to build self-respect rituals. So these are certain things you will do to build self-respect. First thing is to dress well for you and nobody else. Speak kindly to you. Rest, hydrate, and demand better even from yourself. You are not excluded from demanding better. You can't demand better of others if you are not demanding better from yourself. The next step is to heal and not just hustle. Ambition without healing still leads to sabotage. You build the life and you burn it down from within you because you've not fixed what is inside you and you want what is outside you to be thriving and to actually work well. That's not possible. The next step is to speak life every day. Speak life to who you are. Even when you don't believe it, even what you don't believe, speak life, because your voice is what actually builds your world and builds who you are. So you can't become the highest version of yourself. You can't become her if you are still speaking to yourself like you are a failure. That means deep down, you still believe that you're a failure in some form. So how then do you want to become the highest and the best version of yourself? It's not possible. It's actually not possible. Now to wrap up this video, I like to say that the way you speak to yourself determines the life that you will actually build. And if the voice in your head is not on your side, it's time to chase away that voice. It's time to bring in a better voice, because you deserve love, but from yourself first. You can't demand love from other people if you don't love yourself first and foremost, and if you don't love yourself the hardest. And if nobody has told you today, the people around you love you, they believe in you, and I'm sure that all your family, all your friends, they love you, they believe in you, and you just need to believe in yourself too. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.